Right. Did she send her questions to you, YK?
Say again.
Did she send her questions to you?
She sent a few questions. What if she one or two modules can she make up?
Oh,
Those
okay.
kind of questions. Yeah.
Right.
So, ladies, welcome to the call, and I'm YK. Um, so the purpose of this call is really to answer any of your questions or give you clarity about the program. And
Mm-hmm.
before that, I'm just curious, what is motivating you to consider the MCC path?
I guess the cost.
The Sing dollar is so strong now, yeah. It's like
Yes, I'm thankful to what the Singapore government is doing and what the Malaysian government is not doing. So
yeah,
anyway, just kidding. Yeah, I think it was interesting because I came from Stanley, right? And we just, it's always at the back of the mind. And it's like, why not just find out more, right? Why not? So guess I'm here. Let's hear from the ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, I concur with Rachel, right? I think it's about, I want to know what's the difference. I want to know, like, even in terms of learning and going to MCC, right? I'm curious about the change. I'm curious about when you deepen it, what does that look like? Yeah, so I'm curious about that.
all right. We'll address that too. And Farah, what's for you?
Both Catherine and Rachel, exactly what they both said. And the cost, and of course, yeah, all the while it has been at the back of my mind as well. And I wasn't sure if there's something I want to do. But then when Stanley mentioned about, sometimes you just need a push from people to sort of find out more. But I haven't been finding out more, to be honest. So I thought, okay, let's just find out more and see where it takes me, and then I'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So, how would you like to do this? You ask a question and I address it, or you want me to run through the modules, big picture, and then after that you ask me the questions? Which one would work for you?
I'm easy on both. You decide, YK. It's okay.
All right. I'll just share the program content which you already received. All right. So, this program is a bridge for students who have taken 125 hours of PCC learning. The MCC, you need another 70 plus 80 hours to make it 200.
Okay.
And so the program is designed with 30 hours of core competency, deepening your skill sets from a PCC to MCC. Practice, I guess, is the most important thing, because while you can understand cognitively, displaying those behaviors requires practice. So we built in the practice hours of coach mentoring where you get feedback. So there are assignments where we will give you 3 recordings, and you will critique what you think it is, whether it's a PCC or MCC recording. And then you do a reflective journal of 1,005 words. And then you practice coaching 10 hours with 4 or more students. Your final assessment to complete this program would be to select your coaching that you have done. Pick one between 20 to 60 minutes that you believe is MCC leveled based on the learnings that we have gone through. You transcribe. I normally recommend my students not to transcribe yet. Send me the recording. And if I think, because the assessment is not done by me, it's done by an independent person. So if I feel that it is worth transcribing and send it for your final assessment, I'll ask you to transcribe. And then after that, we will send it to the independent MCC assessor to gauge your coaching. And once you exceed the standard, you get your certificate.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's the process. All right, so this program is divided into 12 modules, and each module is from 9 to 12:30 virtually. And then the first one we talked about, what's the distinction? Like the first question that Catherine asked, what's the difference really at ACC, PCC, MCC? So we will address that. And then we will look at the MCC behaviors. The coaching process, I have actually designed this shift process, and the rest are basically practice and some of the things that MCC coaches use that newer coaches don't use, words and expressions. So module 2 onwards, we'll talk about the competencies, which is ethical practices, which is not much difference from PCC and ACC. And then module 3 onwards, agreements, and then trust, safety, and all these, you will be coaching at the MCC level. And then there will be MCC markers that we will share with you. And where would PCC fall into those markers, and where would MCC fall into? So from module 2 onwards, right through until module 10, we will be deepening your competency in at the MCC level.
Mm-hmm.
Then module 11 and 12 would be group mentoring and also coaching critics. So that's a big picture. Any questions?
How long does each module take? How many weekends?
So it's consecutive weekends every Saturday.
Every Saturday you'll be covering one module.
Yes.
Would that be right? Okay.
Yes. So 12 modules will be about 2.5 months.
Okay. Any pre-reading?
No, there's no pre-reading because most of you are experienced coaches. It's just learning the distinctions between PCC and MCC and then practicing it.
Mm.
There will be handouts though, and the handouts will be based on all these modules that we're covering.
What is the format of the training?
So the format of the training would be a lot of group discussion, because you bring in different experiences based on your knowledge and experience as a coach. After your group discussion, I will do the alignment of what it is really, so that you get some refinement. And then after that, there will be either a demonstration where I demonstrate, or someone from the group coach me, and then I will walk them through on what they have done well and what they have not done well. And then practice, breaking up into pairs to practice and come back for debrief.
Is the program fully delivered by yourself?
Yes, for the time being, yes. There is also a co-facilitator. For this particular module, I will be delivering everything. But future modules, the co-facilitator will also be taking some of the modules.
And
What
for
is
the
sorry, Farah, go ahead.
Sorry, sorry, Catherine. Just for the mentor coaching, are there other mentor coaches that we pick, or it's just you?
The mentor coaches, we have 2, which we will assign to the participants.
Okay.
And they are MCCs as well, YK?
Yes, they need to be MCC to coach MCC, yeah.
Okay, all right.
What is the group size?
The group size is, we hope not to exceed 12, but sometimes we do get 14, but most of the time we get 8 to 10.
Is this your the pilot run?
No, this is the second batch already.
Oh, second batch. The one that Stanley sent to us is actually online sort of
Yes.
arrangement, right? So this is the second batch, and the first batch has completed the full course already.
Except for the assignments, yeah.
Oh, okay. And just in terms of time-wise and the chronological order, right? So if it's gonna start off in is that November?
Yeah.
November. And I understand that it sort of stretched all the way until sometime to February.
That's right.
Okay. And I guess some of Fern's question would be, what if one would to miss 1 or 2 of those sessions or even more? How would that work?
So ICF allows missing up to 3 sessions where you can catch up to recording. We will record every session, and those who missed, we will send those recordings to them. More than 3, the 4th or 5th, you have to make up for the next cohort, and you just be there in person.
Okay, all right. So it's half a day in the morning.
Mm.
Okay. Mentoring hours. That would be 10. Is that right?
Yes.
It's included in the package. And is that
Yeah.
required by ICF? We need to have at least like, it's the same as PCC, is it?
Exactly the same. 10, 10,
Okay.
10.
So 7 group and then 3 one-on-one.
Yes.
Okay. And so for this 3 one-on-one, do we schedule directly with the assigned mentor?
Yes.
And over how long a period do we have that?
So throughout the whole program, we will tell you who your mentor is, and then after 2 or 3 modules, you will schedule a session with the mentor to practice, and then the mentor will give you feedback. So there
Okay.
will be 3 one individual sessions.
So which means, do we need to complete that 3 one-on-one within that 3 months, within that 12 weeks?
You can do it later and after that.
And how long a time frame would we be given?
That's a good question, actually. Most of the participants would probably the latest one participant finish was it took 5 months to finish the individual one. The group one is already fixed, so you just need to attend. But it's an individual one that is really up to you to schedule the sessions.
Oh, okay. So there's no time limit. You have to complete it within certain months. Okay. And that 5 months you mentioned earlier on starts from day 1 of the DMC, is it? The club, the course.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the group mentoring session, I noticed, are fixed on certain days, and it's like 2 sessions, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
I will be like overseas on those 2 sessions.
Yes.
Then what will happen if, let's say, I missed that? It's a group mentoring, so it's not those normal class sessions.
Yeah, it is the same. You can watch the recordings, because in group mentoring, those participants that don't get a chance to practice and get feedback will just learn through indirectly through observing.
Oh, okay. So that can be counted as well under ICF.
Yes.
7 hours. Oh, okay. So we don't have to be physically present in that sense. We can still watch and then still be able to benefit from that 7 hours.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right.
Is there
All right.
performance evaluation? I
Yes,
suppose there is, right?
there is.
Yeah.
So the performance evaluation is basically you will submit a recording for 20 minutes to 60 minutes long. And then after that, we will I recommend that you send it to me for an opinion. If I think that it is good enough, then you transcribe it, and then we'll send it to an independent assessor.
Or not to the mentor coach that we are being assigned to?
No, the mentor coach is not the assessor. It's just your mentor. Just give you feedback. Yeah.
Right. Okay, got it.
Why can't I ask for the recording, right? Just you said, if it comes back and it does not meet the requirement, what's next?
If it does not meet the requirement, you record again and again and again.
Okay, so you can repeatedly do.
Yes.
And is there a cost to that?
Normally we say 2, but if it takes more than 2, it's a very nominal cost that we are charging, just the time cost. And right now we are thinking of about 100 Sing dollar for the 3rd one onwards.
Right. And if it's assessed, right? One is a success and it meets the markers.
Yes.
Does it mean this is good enough to submit for ICF?
No. You cannot submit the recordings that is used during the learning. You have to record, but you know already where those qualities are. You record a separate one, which is equivalent or better, and you submit to ICF.
I see. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah. Would you
Sorry.
repeat?
So the question is, Catherine was asking, if you coach someone and then you send a recording and you pass the recording and you complete your program, can you send the same recording to ICF for your MCC assessment? And the answer is no, because this is part of the program learning. So any coaching done during the program learning cannot be used for final assessment by the MCC. You have to do another recording for the MCC submission.
And it's up to the ICF to review and see whether you pass.
Yes.
To assess whether you pass. So that's it. That means this is still an ACSTH pathway?
No, that level three is basically so there is level 1, 2, and 3. Level 3 is basically content that's been pre-approved by ICF. All right. Whether you are level 3 or you are taking separate modules from all the other training providers, the key difference is that level 3, if you submit a certificate, they don't have to pre-audit what did you learn from the other providers that constitute how many percent core competencies and how many percent resource development. You just submit a certificate. So that's a key difference. You still have to go through the ICF independent assessor, whether you go through level 3 or a non-level 3 program.
Oh, okay. How is that different from a level 1? I mean, so
Level-
educate me here. The assessor who will approve that does not come from the training provider. It
So
would
level-
be independently assessed. Yeah, sorry.
Level
Yeah.
1 and 2, once you get the certificate, it is good enough for ICF to take your recording as you have passed the performance exam, and you just sit for the credential exam, which is the objective-based question.
Right.
Level 3, no. Level 3
Oh,
still go through the ICF assessors.
right.
Okay. So that
Okay.
means assessment, there will be the assessment or that particular one that you were mentioning to clear you first, and then you go for an independent and someone who is not from your organization, I suppose, would be
Yes.
assessing, and then to see whether we clear the program. Then we get that cert. And with
Yes.
that cert plus another recording,
Another
that-
2 recordings.
another 2 recordings.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the 2 recordings. And this cannot be, these 2 must not be the one that is that has been submitted to you,
That's right.
or not submitted to you, or has been cleared by the assessor within that program.
It is done within the program, cannot be used.
Okay, all right.
Why can't I ask you that in that case? Okay, that's because it's already done by independent assessor. I cannot use it. But I have 3 mentor coaching hours. Could the
Yes.
mentor then assess it for me and see whether it's good enough for MCC certification?
Meaning to say that when you do your mentor coaching, you coach someone else, and then you ask the mentor, is this good enough? And if it's good enough, can you submit that? Yes, you can.
Okay, so the mentor coach can be my observer, right? To see whether I hit all the markers, right? To know whether I'm able to clear that, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's ultimately their opinion, right? But
Yes.
just an opinion that is given,
That's
which
true.
which may or may not run parallel to what ICF has. It's just an opinion someone else do. So they won't write to a guarantee that say, okay, I think you high chance 80% will clear the markers. They won't make that kind of statement, I suppose. It would be like, oh, in my opinion, it should, okay. But then
And-
the
And that's why ICF has 3 assessors listening to your recording, because it is subjective. All right. At least 2 of them must concur that this meets the minimum.
right, okay.
So I have not looked into the ICF MCC certification requirements, but if I may, correct me if there's anything else that I thought that we need to do, right? So first you get the cert from the school, you get 2 recordings, and then you do the exam, and then you get your hours, right? That you need to pass the MCC. Is there anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay.
I think the key thing is to clock in the 2005 hours to be ready. Once you've got a certificate, it's just the hours to clock in and the 2 recordings.
And the 2 recordings. And there's no online assessment?
There is an assessment also.
And how does it differ, that online assessment versus the PCC ones?
So it's a very good question that not many people can answer. Even ICF cannot answer that. What's the difference between credentialing exam that PCC candidates do and the but they say that basically it's by and large the same, just understanding your understanding as a MCC coach. What are some of the distinctions that you can tell, from there. So it's a very vague answer.
What's your experience? You have done all of them, right? Did you do? You
Unfortunately,
didn't?
unfortunately, during my time, which I got my MCC in the year 2000, there's no credentialing exam.
Good
I
for
see.
you.
Lucky you.
Good for me. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
In
Ah,
my
I can check because two of my students is going to take their CKA. I can check with them what difference, if any.
Okay.
Mm.
If I may, I'd like to find out from you based on your observations, right? For those who take the MCC, what is the shift that the learners to understand and able to coach at the MCC level? What's your observation that the shift is required?
All right. Are you aware of the distinction between transformational and transactional coaching? You're aware of that, yeah?
Yeah.
So ACC would be more transactional. PCC would be 50-50. MCC would be 80% transformational. Yeah. Two, it's like driving a car. ACC is you pass your learner's license, you can drive a car. All right. PCC level is like you have got enough experience to navigate through different situations. MCC level is like you are driving a race car, a Formula One, where you and the car is one. It is it's not seeing yourself separate from the car. You are the driver of the car. You and the car is one. So that distinction of being in the moment and coaching based on more gut feel, more intuition, more sharing what we call observations that you will learn what to pick up. So those are the MCC distinctions. And higher partnering, have you heard of the three terms: partnering, inquiry, exploring?
No,
No.
not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, so for at MCC level, higher level of partnering and exploring.
Okay. I had a peer coach before who is an MCC. And my experience was quite uncomfortable. Yeah. And then I had also another mentor who also MCC that I asked him, what's the difference? And he said, just coach, just coach. I couldn't, I think it's a lot. I know that MCC is a lot of the coaching, the who, right? The who of the person and then the what comes later. So I'm curious in that change, right? In that change is there like a framework at MCC or it's just being? And I'm curious, what is that all about?
So how shall I put it? When a coach is coaching at the ACC level, can you tell that this is a new coach? You can tell. So what is it that
I can't tell now because it's like we don't go ask, are you ACC or you PC? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you experience enough, you know. All right.
Yeah.
A new coach basically is very formulaic, meaning to say, okay, first ask the outcome question. All right. And do this, then do this, then do this. You can almost guess what they will do next. All right. That's a beginning coach. Very structured. In our term as MCC, we call it formulaic. You follow a formula. It's like a checklist. You do this, you do this, I've asked this question and so on. All right. Once you get to MCC level, once you become formulaic, you won't pass. All right. Mastery is about letting go of systems and structure, and yet still abiding by the coaching mindset, which is people are creative and resourceful. That's where your full partnering comes in. To be comfortable with silence, to be able to let go of your preconceived opinions of what needs to happen. to be completely free from solutions finding. All right. So those are the MCC mindset. Easy to understand, very difficult to do.
Mm,
Mm.
I understand. You can have a fixed mindset.
Fix it myself. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, okay.
So I'm curious, as in, all the gurus out there, right?
Mhm.
Who has influenced you the most?
Not one person. Actually, there are so many gurus out there that I have learned from them indirectly in some ways or another. So if you ask me one person, I can't think of any.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just for out of my curiosity, who are on the top of your list?
Marsha Reynolds, my good friend. She is a board member with me in ICF Global. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a lot of tips from her. She in fact got her MCC much earlier than me also. So she's
Mm.
Damien Goldvark. He's another MCC which I have actually learned a lot from him. Yeah, but no single one comes out as the mentor, you know.
Mm. And so who did you learn from? I mean, when you first started?
So I took my coaching from ICA, International Coaching Academy, which is based in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my PCC through their program also. And then MCC, I got mentored by Sherry Boone. Sherry Boone is based in US. She's one of the um, very experienced MCC mentor coaches, and a few others.
Mikey, what do you think that the
Thank you.
learners going through the course, right? What to prepare? I'm curious, is it exhausting? How exhausting? Or is it how I don't know. I'm just curious, like what do we need to prepare, right? To go through the course, yeah?
Got cute patterns, Catherine. It will be very mentally exhausting.
What do you need to prepare? Just be prepared to let go of what you know. Yeah, I think that's probably the most difficult part. When you learn coaching for the first time, letting go of what you know how to help people is difficult. All right. And then slowly you begin to trust yourself, trust the process. Also, now that you learn how to coach, letting go of what you know how to coach and move into the next level is probably also a challenge to that.
Do you see it as a quantum leap? Or is just a hurdle that we need to just jump over? Or is it like we're gonna have a pole vault and we have to really do that,
Um, I would say that different coaches take it very differently. Some coaches are already at the advanced PCC level, the way they coach, and they just need some refinement. Some of them are PCC, but they're not been upgrading their own competencies, but they've been holding the credential. That they will probably need to pick up and do more work in terms of shifting how they work with people. So tough for me to answer that question.
I hear you, because all of us, the two ladies, we also teach coaching. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of learners and we know that different stage they are in. So I completely understand where you're coming from. Other than the in-person sessions that we have, how much preparation do we need to do off official learning hours? What kind of hours do you think we need to be mindful of?
Preparation for each module,
Mm-hmm.
0.
Okay.
Just attend.
Okay, so just attend, no need to do homework after
No
that.
need to do homework. But you have your
Oh.
assignments. You have your assignments to complete. Yeah. So after you have completed that, then you will go and coach 4-person 10 hours. All those you have to do. But just to come for module 1, module 2, module 3, just be present and just enjoy the discussion.
Only module 1 to 3, how about the rest?
Yeah, right through.
Same.
Yeah, right through.
Okay.
No pre-work.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
Actually, you've given a lot of homework to your learners, right? I heard.
No, everything is done in class.
YK, I have a question. The mentoring hours that being provided through this program, how long is it valid? Is there like a 3 years kind of a term life to it? So if we take like forever to go and clock that 2,500 hours, and we cross an era just to get to those numbers, I'm
Yes.
just wondering whether those mentoring hours will be
Still-
expired and we have to then seek new mentoring hours.
ICF currently is silent on terms of recency of mentoring, but recency of coaching, yes. In other words, when you submit your 2005 hours, at least 25 of those hours have to be within
18 months.
within 1 year.
25%
Yeah.
of hours.
Yeah.
25 of 2,500 hours. Is that how then?
Not
Rated?
25%. I think it's 25 hours have to be within a year.
Within 18 months.
Yes. But
But
having
Oh,
said that, ICF need you to submit log anymore. All right. But that's a
Okay.
requirement. You just need to attest that you've got 2005 hours.
yeah. So the law is not an issue. So you're saying the 25 hours must be within the last 18. Okay, the ones that we know is within 18 months
Yes.
from the date of application.
Yes.
So that is applicable at MCC level as well.
Yes. I'm just because in the past, when you submit your coaching log, they can tell your last 25 hours how recent it is. Right now,
Yeah.
you don't have to submit your coaching log, just attest that you've got 2005 hours. So I
Yeah.
think while that condition is there, there's no way in which ICF can find out.
Okay. So you're saying also that mentoring hours, there's no expiry
Right.
dates. Okay. What about education hours? Is there any expiry dates?
No.
Okay. Because I had a learner who came to me and he actually had a different kind of a program that he has taken, and in that he has 10 hours of mentoring hours, but that was like more than 3 years ago. And then when he wrote to ICF said you need to get those mentoring hours in. That's why I was just wondering whether there's an expiry date for mentoring hours.
No,
No.
unless that mentoring hours is used for renewal, then that cannot be counted again. So for example,
Oh,
if you renew your
okay.
potential and you count and you put in those mentoring hours as part of your renewal, those mentoring hours cannot be counted anymore.
Okay. So we can take this course with you, and then we only managed to clock our 2,500 hours like 5 years later. That won't be a problem as long as the last 25 hours is done within 18 months from the date of application. Is that
Yes.
what I'm?
Yes. And at the same time, also your you don't use your mentoring hours in your renewal of PCC next round if you're not taking your MCC exam. So once
But
you use,
Okay, renewal of PCC, we don't need mentoring hours, right?
We need.
you can use of the 40 hours, you can use mentoring as part of the 40 hours.
Oh, okay. I don't need that. So I should be safe.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Questions also. I understand you have the face-to-face on-site training, and this is actually an online. Yeah, it's still face-to-face. The one that's on-site, it's held over how many days? Sorry.
So we are not running MCC in person on site. Only level 1 and level 2.
I see. Okay.
MCC and team coaching is virtual.
Oh, all right. So you only have virtual, as in online classes. Okay. All right. I thought we can have an excuse to go to Malaysia.
You don't need an excuse, Rachel. You can go anytime.
I don't. And I need my husband know I need to stay there for 7 days and be true.
We can arrange separately. Say, why can we have one in person?
Hey,
Come over, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you have relatives here. Yeah. So you can come by.
Our fees might just go up, you know.
Which part of Malaysia are you based in, YK?
In the KL, Kuala
Yeah.
Lumpur. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay, let's do
Yeah.
a go to KL then.
I used to go to Singapore pretty often to run programs until the COVID hit, and then
Oh.
now they come over instead of me going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I how within 6 days is if it's immersive, the
Mm.
learning much probably is different from online kind of training, because we give in-person training,
Mm.
Catherine, Farah and I,
Yes.
and can't imagine if we would do an online.
Yes.
It's
I-
different, the kind of interaction, because sometimes the teaching is not so much taught but caught. You know,
Yes.
you catch it, and in person has that ability to enable people to see and catch that spirit. That I mean, that's the experience. So I'm just
So-
wondering what missing by doing online.
If you join our level 1 and 2, all right, we recommend in person because we use games to help people learn. All right, and online you will miss those games because it cannot be played online. However,
Yeah.
MCC level, it's more of you have got already the foundation. All right, so it's more of refining those foundations, and I find that online is good enough for MCC learning.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So
Uh,
YK, sorry, Rachel, go ahead.
Go ahead. You I'm gonna take a pause.
Okay, okay. So, YK, I'm not sure how true this is. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Someone mentioned to me that you don't necessarily have to accumulate 2,500 hours before or rather after taking the coach education, MCC coach education. You can accumulate the hours first and then go take the coach education, MCC coach education, and it qualifies you for the submission. Is that correct?
Yes. So you need 2 requirements: 200 hours of education and 2,005 hours of coaching experience. You can do either 2005 first. Once you've got that, you get your education to complete it, or you can actually do the education first and then use the new skills to sharpen your coaching. And when you get a 2005, you will be more than ready because you're already applying those principles.
Yeah. Okay.
The 2005 is from the day 1 of your coaching experience.
Yes.
Okay.
So have you had any MCC credentialed yet? I mean, they have already accumulated 2005 and then took your program and then.
Yes, there's one recently who got her MCC, and then there's another one today which she has just submitted. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't have any more questions. So ladies, if you have, just shoot.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, YK, what would distinguish you from other MCC level 3 service providers?
I would probably say that it's like taking tuition, you know. If you're learning mathematics, for example, you have 10 tuition teachers, they will teach you the same syllabus. But some tuition teachers, you find that you understand better, you know, the methodology of them teaching. So the difference between, I would say, one training provider and another is really just the methodology of how they deliver the concept and those things in which make sense to people.
Right. And having said that, what would be like your methodology that you think would be probably uniquely you?
The one you have to ask my past participants.
You get some feedback from them as well, because they would have compared, like I'm sure your participants would be like us, like that, you know, like you just compare a few and then finally they might come to you and then you might have done the survey already. What makes you choose me? That kind of stuff.
I would say I can compare myself with 1 or 2 others, which the students went there to take level 1 and then came to take level 2 with us, you know, and they say that the way you teach those concepts are different. You know, you use a lot of metaphors. Metaphors are easy to learn. Another comment I get is that the other training provider, there is a right and wrong. If you do this, it's wrong. Don't do it. For you, everything is okay. It's just, is it this one more effective or that one more effective? No right, no wrong. So these are some of the feedback I get.
Okay. So I hear that they feel that they are safer with you. You offer more psychological safety.
Interesting way of putting it.
Another way to put it is very diplomatic.
So
dear.
I'm hearing that. So you're talking to a group of people who are always like there to support our learners and to make sure that they become the coach that they want to be. So there is this part where we want to also have the unreserved positive regards, not just for our clients and also for our learners. So we would like to see that in the people that we want to be trained by, that you could see the gem in us.
I completely understand that. That's a coaching mindset, really. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So what I'm hearing, so in conclusion, is that this and if ladies, if I will miss out anything, just jump in. I just want to have a just a summary to make sure that we understand. So this is a 12-week online course that will be personally facilitated by yourself. All right. And that there would be some, but in terms of mentors, besides yourself, there will be 2 other mentors who would come in to do the mentoring session. And the mentoring sessions consist of 7 hours of group mentoring that is over 2 days. And should we actually can't make it for one or both days, we can make up by just listening. And that would be sufficient. And then as for the one-on-one, that can take place even during the course itself, so we don't have to wait until the end of the course to start that relationship. And that 3 1-hour mentoring session, we will arrange directly with the assigned mentor. Okay, and in that session we would present, so there is this audio recording that is required to clear the program, of which then we get the certificate, and this is the one that you asked us to send it over to you and to just opinion before we even transcribe it. And because that audio will be given to someone who is an independent assessor. And I'm assuming that that person is not part of your organization. Is the person? Okay, all right. So which means you have no control over it. You can only give an opinion. Yes. Now, the one that we can talk to with our mentors could be the ones that we might want to submit to ICF eventually. And that's the one to get an opinion on them. Can we get your opinion on it as well?
Sure.
Okay, so that would still fall within the 2 hours that is.
That's why I like that. It takes my time to go through every single opinion.
So not you, I think. Okay, all right. So those are there are 2 recordings, but that 2 recordings could be something that when we are ready to submit our ICF. And there's no expiry on the education hours. There's no expiry on the mentoring hours as well. So even if we were to finally submit it a few years down the road, all this will still be valid. That's what I'm. Okay, all right. And the cost is in Sing dollars and not ringgit.
Yes.
That's a good try.
That's a good try. Yeah. The fee is in ringgit and not in Sing dollar. Then I'll say yes.
This is the equivalent that is not pegged to future deterioration of ringgit. That's what it's trying to say. It's sort of forecasted. And so what's the call to action here, YK?
What's that?
A call to action. What is it that we need to do?
So once you feel comfortable in signing up, you just fill in the registration form, put in the deposit, and then you're ready for the program. And on day 1, you just pay the balance, and that's it.
Okay.
What's the deadline? Is there a deadline for that? The November intake, right?
Yes.
When's the deadline?
There's no deadline. Once we hit 10, we'll close.
You hit 10, because just now you said 12, then 14.
That is because two companies, that situation was two companies sent in 4 at one go, so it already exceeded, and they say we must send this 4. So we took it, yeah.
All
So
right.
how many you have right now for the November intake?
We have 5.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So
Does
just
that and include Stanley in it?
Stanley included, yes.
When is your next batch?
So November will be the next one, and it will be around about March or April the following next year.
Okay. Yeah.
And would it always in this kind of a Saturdays, like a stretch of Saturdays?
Yes, because weekdays I don't really have time to do it, and the only time I can run is Saturdays, so that's
Right.
why I plan for Saturdays. Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions I have. I'm just curious what Fern has on her list. Have we managed to exhaust all the questions that she has?
Let me just look at her email first. So Fern was asking, yeah, basically she asked about missing modules, what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she couldn't attend December 7 and 14. Yeah, would that be a big concern? So that's the only question. And I will be sending this recording to her. Hopefully you'll answer other questions.
Okay. So do you mention that up to 3?
Up to 3, yes.
Up to 3. Okay. Because and in December you have on the 2nd, 7th, is it? Did you say? Okay. 7, 14, and then there's a break already, right? For Christmas.
Correct.
The 14 might be a tricky one for me because I'll be in London and it's 9:30 here. That would be a very odd timing there.
Okay. If
Yeah.
most of the participants are okay with maybe moving the 14th to the following month, that's fine with me too.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
What, 14 December to the following month?
To January, to February, extend February. One.
Oh, I see. So you're pushing back the program. If
All
right.
yeah,
Understand.
because
Yeah.
I also have something, I have a class on the 14th as well. That was also quite worried.
Understand.
It seems like 14 is it's a very hot date.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah. I think at this point, that's all the questions I have. I just need to take a look at, relook at some of these things again. And if you don't mind, YK, for any of us or here to just drop you a message, mail
Please.
if we have further questions.
Phase
on-
2. Yeah. Or even a call. I'm okay.
Okay. All right. And I don't think did you put your number in the email?
Yeah, there is.
There is, huh? Okay. So
Yeah.
I will have okay. So a WhatsApp call.
Yeah.
Will
That's
do.
fine.
Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I only is just looking at the dates because year end is always a traveling period.
Understand me.
So so is it trying too hard to fit into the schedule and end up hearing or recording is quite not meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's during this time we need to do recording as well, right?
Mm.
And then you'll be traveling and we'll be having this thing, probably thinking about it. So we're hearing the next one will be on in March. So 1 year you run it twice, is it?
Depends on my calendar.
Okay.
At least once.
At least once. Okay. And the one that you mentioned after this, which likely would be March and April, that is something that is like more or less
No, not locked in yet. When it
Okay.
comes to around about November, December, I start looking at next year.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, YK, for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, YK. And if Fern is listening to this, hi Fern.
So yeah, questions all answered, I hope. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you
Okay.
once,
Have
YK,
a
for
good-
Yeah, you have a wonderful week ahead.
Yes.
And the ladies as well. See you, Farah. See you, Katrina.
See you, Rachel. See you,
Bye for
Catherine.
now.
Thanks,
Bye.
Rachel. Bye.
Bye.